The Galactic Council's first mistake was assuming they understood humans. Ambassador Zethkri adjusted his breathing apparatus for the third time as he watched the human delegation's ship dock with the station. The crystalline being's natural, methane-based respiratory system required constant filtration in the oxygen-rich environment that supposedly kept humans alive. Every species in the Council had spent months preparing their atmospheric processors for this historic first contact. Deploying emergency oxygen reserves, announced the station's AI in 17 different languages. Human delegation arrival imminent. Dr. Sarah Chen stepped through the airlock without a helmet. The assembled alien diplomats froze. Zethkri's optical sensors dilated in shock as he watched the human take a deep breath of the station's standard atmospheric mix, a combination that should have killed her instantly. The air contained trace amounts of sulfur dioxide, methane, and hydrogen sulfide that would be lethal to any oxygen-dependent species. "Good morning, everyone," Chen said cheerfully, her voice carrying easily through the toxic haze. "Beautiful day, isn't it?" The Veltar representative, a gelatinous being that absorbed nutrients through specialized pores, began secreting stress hormones. "Human entity," it gurgled. "Your life-sustaining gas requirements, we prepared pure oxygen chambers." Chen laughed. Actually laughed. The sound echoed through the chamber as she walked casually past the emergency oxygen stations they had installed at great expense. "Oh, that's sweet of you, but this is fine," she said, taking another deliberately deep breath. "Reminds me of home, actually. This sulfur content is nothing compared to what we've got near the Yellowstone volcanic region." Zethkri's translator struggled with the concept. His people had studied human physiology for cycles, analyzing the intercepted data about their oxygen-dependent biology. The humans breathed a gas that was so reactive, it would corrode most metals given enough time. It was already an absurdly dangerous way to sustain life. But this was impossible. The atmospheric composition contains 0.3% hydrogen sulfide, announced the station AI helpfully, fatal to oxygen-breathing species in concentrations above 0.001%. Chen shrugged. "Yeah, but we're pretty adaptable. You should see what we can handle when we really try." The Krex delegation leader, a being that existed primarily as organized electromagnetic fields, pulsed with confusion. "Our scientists calculated that humans require atmospheric composition of 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen. Give or take," Chen interrupted. "We can work with a pretty wide range, honestly. I mean, people live at different altitudes, different air qualities. Some folks work in mines, others in chemical plants. Humans in Mexico City breathe air that would probably horrify you guys." She paused, noticing their expressions. "Oh, and then there's the people who deliberately pay money to sit in salt caves or near sulfur springs for health benefits. We're weird that way." The Aquatic Collective's representative, speaking through a water-filled communication device, bubbled frantically. "Our xenobiologists theorized that human fragility and atmospheric variance would make them unsuitable for galactic expansion." Chen's laughter cut through the chamber again. "Fragile? Who told you we were fragile?" She pulled out a small device and activated a holographic display. Images flashed before the assembled aliens. Humans climbing mountains where the air was too thin to sustain most life, diving to ocean, depths that would crush any surface dweller, working in environments filled with industrial chemicals, living in deserts and Arctic wastelands. "This is my colleague Jim," Chen said, pointing to an image of a man standing next to a volcanic vent. "He's a volcanologist. Spends most of his time breathing air that's about 15% sulfur compounds. This is Maria. She works in industrial cleanup. That's basically toxic waste behind her, and she's not even wearing full protective gear." The alien stared in growing horror. "And this," Chen continued with obvious pride, "is the crew of the Titan mining station. They've been breathing recycled air with methane leaks and carbon monoxide contamination for 3 years straight. They actually requested extended rotation because they said Earth air was too clean and made them feel dizzy." Zethkri's breathing apparatus wheezed as he tried to process this information. "But your planet's baseline atmosphere, Surely that is your optimal environment. Oh, that? Chen waved dismissively. That's just what we evolved in. We've been modifying our environment for thousands of years. Air conditioning, pollution, industrial emissions, terraforming projects. We're constantly changing what we breathe. Some of our cities have air that's barely recognizable as the original atmospheric composition. The hive mind representative spoke through its collective consciousness. Then what are your actual atmospheric requirements? Chen thought for a moment. Well, we prefer not to suffocate. Beyond that, we're surprisingly flexible. Carbon monoxide will kill us eventually, but we can handle short exposure. Same with most toxic gases. Pure oxygen actually hurts us, too reactive. We do better with some impurities mixed in. She gestured around the chamber. This environment? It's actually pretty pleasant. Like a mild spring day in an industrial district. Nothing we can't handle. The assembled aliens exchanged looks of what could only be described as existential dread. The human expansion potential, whispered the ethereal consciousness. If their atmospheric requirements are so flexible, oh, that's just breathing, Chen said brightly. Wait until you learn about our temperature tolerance, or what we consider edible. Did you know humans voluntarily consume ethanol, which is literally a poison that kills most life forms? We drink it recreationally. Ambassador Zethkree's breathing apparatus finally gave up entirely. He collapsed into his chair, staring at the human who was casually chatting while breathing an atmosphere that should have been a chemical weapon. The Galactic Council's second mistake was thinking they could contain humanity to any particular region of space. Their third mistake was assuming there would be any environments too hostile for human colonization. Chen noticed their expressions and smiled sympathetically. Hey, don't worry about it. Every species has their strengths. You guys have faster-than-light travel figured out way better than we do. She took another deep breath of the toxic air. We'll learn.